Welcome back to the Culture Fit Podcast, Episode 5. Finding any job can be difficult, especially if you're new to Australia and unfamiliar with its laws and employer expectations. This video will show you the 8 steps you need to follow to take the stress and confusion out of job hunting. To keep this video short, I'll only go into a few key points that require some explaining. Also, this video is primarily targeted at students who are looking to find part-time or casual work to finance their living costs while they are studying in Australia. If you'd like more content on finding a job that aligns with your career, let us know in the comments. Step 1. Prepare essentials. These are the bare minimum things you need to set up before you can be paid and are protected by the law. Remember your visa work limits. Most student visas allow up to 48 hours per fortnight during semester and unlimited hours in breaks. So regardless of whether you are working a part-time role with regular shifts or casual or on-demand shifts, you need to make sure not to exceed 48 hours every 2 weeks. Step 2. Do a self-assessment. Focused applications have a higher success rate and result in less wasted effort. You should evaluate your existing and relevant skills. The first step in overcoming your lack of self-confidence is to know what you are capable of. A kebab shop doesn't need to know about your data science degree, for example. Second thing you need to evaluate is your preferred work environment, such as hospitality, retail, cleaning, delivery, tutoring, or administrative. A lot of these environments require some degree of travel. If you'd like to work closer to where you study, then you have to plan that accordingly. Thirdly, consider your availability. If you're studying something that requires a lot of time on campus and in class, it would be much more difficult for you to find work in the city, for example. Fourthly, as we've mentioned previously, the location, such as the proximity, travel time, travel cost, and of course, access to public transportation. These are all important factors in whether you should apply for a role or not. And finally, English proficiency. Consider whether you are looking for a customer or stakeholder-facing role, or if you prefer to be in the back office where you don't have to communicate as much. While it is beneficial to communicate with more people and develop your skills, it can also be more stressful. Step 3. Build employability. Gaining Australian experience is important because employers prefer candidates who have local work experience and cultural knowledge. One of the ways in which you can build employability is volunteering through Communiteer or university programs. These are great ways to gain hands-on experience and build local references. Even short-term volunteering can help you demonstrate reliability and the ability to work with people from different backgrounds, which are highly desirable qualities. Step 4. Prepare application documents. You need to create documents that reflect Australian job standards and expectations. One of the key things you need to write is a brief cover letter, usually 1 page or less, answering 3 key questions. 1. Why am I interested in this role? 2. Why do I think I'm the best person for this role? And 3. What are my relevant skills and experiences? For smaller businesses, it's about making it as simple as possible for the owner who is probably reading this cover letter to choose you, often on the spot. For larger organizations like your Coles and Woolworths, you need a proper cover letter to go through their processes as they recruit large numbers of people. Step 5. Searching for jobs. Use reputable sources to find real opportunities and avoid scams. you can be very direct in this. Walk into local cafes, restaurants, and shops with printed resumes. This may sound difficult and confrontational, but it makes a lot of sense when you realize most small business owners or store managers are busy, like you. And if you make their lives easier by approaching them in person, they are much more likely to consider you for a role compared to the many job applications in their email, which they may not have even read. If, however, you are looking for larger employers, remember that they tend to post on job sites and follow a more strict recruitment process. Step 6. Prepare for interviews. Practice answering questions using the STAR method, that is, situation, task or target, action, and result. This allows you to structure your answers to keep them clear and concise. Make sure to prepare at least 2 examples to show you have some variety in your skills and experience. Keep it simple and direct. Practice builds confidence, so practice until you sound confident. For part-time roles, the employer will be very specific about the job, usually outlining specific responsibilities. You should have examples to showcase that you have these skills ready as you approach each interview. Step 7. Track your applications. Tracking the jobs you apply helps you learn what works. It's important to send a text message after the interview to thank the employer and make a courtesy call the next day to further cement your positive impression in the employer's mind. Remember that people are busy, and vetting job applications is not on the top of many people's to-do lists, especially after work when they are tired. People appreciate a proactive applicant, and in-person and phone calls are much richer forms of communication than text messages or emails, thus making a much better impression. Finally, step 8, verifying your offer. Congratulations, you've been given an offer. Please check to make sure that the hourly rate meets the Fair Work minimum wage. It's worth noting that certain industries and jobs have minimum wages that are higher than the national wage. For example, if you found a job in aged care pays minimum $26.51 per hour, which is quite a bit higher than the $24.95 per hour national minimum wage. You can check out the pay guide linked in the description below. So, in conclusion, finding a paid job is difficult at the best of times, but it's not magic. If you treat job seeking like a repeatable practice, take in constructive feedback, and improve yourself in small and regular increments, you will find yourself in the position of choosing which job to accept, rather than the other way around. To give you some perspective, in the next segment, we'll share some job-seeking experiences and lessons with you so that you'll know that you're not struggling alone. Let's get to it now.